put some more wallpapers up for sure.
Nice. Let's see. All right. Senrath wants to know, can we get clarification on if DC really works in raids? Said a moment ago that it does, but we've been told before that it doesn't. Was that a misspeak or have things changed?
If DC, I'm
DC.
sorry.
DC. Yeah, I think I need some clarity there. DC.
Dungeon crawler, he's
Dungeon
talking
crawler.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, from what I understand, yes. Like whenever you're rolling loot, you get to roll again. So that's what I believe, unless somebody changed it and didn't tell me. I believe the intent was that if you're rolling for loot, you're rolling again. You know, in the beating a guy experience like dungeons or raids.
Let's see. Shaggy TV wants to know, will you be able to make your own tournaments for people to play in?
That's a tough one. That's part of that. Remember that whole thing I wrote on the update about leagues, and that would be kind of what I was talking about with the leagues. So it wouldn't be that it's one tournament; it'd be a league. But we have to figure all that stuff out. There's some interesting issues that I didn't really realize about all that league component and what it means from us in terms of our terms of service and what we can do in terms of giving players the ability to control some of this stuff. Something we want to do, but it's something that's going to be a lot of work. When it comes to starting your own tournaments, if it wasn't part of that league, then no, probably not. I mean, there's some of this stuff creates other interesting challenges for us from the legal side, frankly.
Yeah. All right. We got a nice little compliment here for you from Whoa, We're Real. Cory, do you know that you're the most loved and most hated geek on the planet right now? Loved because you rock, and hated because we now need to wait for your awesome game.
Thank you very much. It's been funny. Like, we've had a lot of people talk about, and I have people who are not really gamers but have been following the message boards and all the Kickstarter comments, and the comments we just keep getting back from people are like, wow, this community is very loving and supportive. Like, you've really been very lucky to have some amazing people sort of rally around this game, and it's something that we realize 100%. Will talked about it in our live stream yesterday. Like, we are so lucky, and we've been in the past, like with WoW TCG, if you come to our little cons, like our little Dark Moon fairs we put on, you'll have people there in costumes and a lot of girls and families and little kids. And it's always been a point of pride for me that we made a game that was accessible to a sort of larger audience and that people were passionate about. And it wasn't just sort of like, one guy was the guy that loves this game. And that's what I'm hoping Hex can become too, because we're definitely going to be doing live events and we're going to be doing a ton of support like we do for all of our stuff. And having this awesome community come together is the thing that's going to be, I think, most gratifying in the end of all of this. And so that's a huge compliment. Thank you very much. And it speaks volumes to sort of not me, but the people that have rallied around this.
Cory, do you really want to try to push this as almost a part of the growing esports community as well? I mean, maybe not compete with League of Legends, but try to maybe be as big as them in the future?
Yeah. How can you compete with League of Legends? That thing is, it's crazy and crazy fun too. It's like, but that's one of the things. Like, and again, people have heard me say this over and over again, so I hate to be redundant. But I've said in the past, if you had told someone before World of Warcraft came out that it was going to be 10 million people with $1 billion a year being spent on it, and all they could look at was EverQuest, which kind of capped out about 600,000 people, they would have laughed in your face. And if you told people that League of Legends would be $1 billion a year, the biggest video game in the world, based on an RTS mod, like RTS is one of the deadest of dead categories, they would have laughed in your face. And I think when it comes to the potential for Hex, I think it's unlimited. I think that trading card games are a passion of mine, but trading card games in general are very fun. And if we do our job right and make this incredible single-player experience, learn-to-play experience, we could activate all of those TCG gamers that have cycled through in the last 20 years playing trading card games that don't have the chance to do it anymore. We can show new people how to play trading card games and what's so fun about them, have this amazingly fun community and tournaments and great prizes. There's so much we can do. And one of the things we've talked about at length is esports and how important it is to us. I mean, Magic invented esports in many ways. Before that, there wasn't much. And Magic and the Pro Tour and all that stuff, it really created this whole, sort of roadmap to what esports can be. And, there isn't a great esports solution for a TCG gamer right now. And I think that there is a giant opportunity. And all the pro players we've talked to, both from WoW, TCG, and Magic, have said the same thing. They're most excited about the idea that some of that esports excitement could be centered on a TCG, and they can start to get some of the recognition as the high-end gamer that they deserve. I mean, I look at the 200 APM actions per minute for a StarCraft player, and they have a six-figure salary, and there's a giant celebrity culture in Korea around playing StarCraft. And I think, you know what, these TCG gamers have every bit as much dedication and skill and put as much time, and they deserve the chance to also build up a bigger community and be a much bigger deal.
Nice. All right. CJS95 wants to know if mobile support is going to have all of the same features as the regular PC and Mac versions.
Yes. That's the goal. Like, I want it to be exactly the same game.
Beautiful. Oh man, that is tough, man. You guys are developing for 3 different platforms at the same time for launch.
Yeah. I mean, Unity. The great thing about Unity is that it's very much a mobile development environment as well. So we always wanted to have mobile. I put it as a stretch goal because we were going to have to bring in another team basically to work on that, people who have an expertise, and we're talking to a few different groups right now. I think we have a group picked out. We were going to have to bring in another team to actually make that happen. Most of the heavy lifting is in interface stuff, again, like redesigning interface elements to work for touch. But the back-end stuff and a lot of the stuff that we built actually is pretty translatable. So I think it's definitely doable. I think it's going to be awesome. Because for me, I use my tablet constantly. So the idea that I can lay in bed and be playing a draft or sitting there, rolling through some dungeons, I have to have it. I mean, as much as I love sitting at my computer or my desk and pretending like I'm working and playing a card game, I want to be able to lay in bed and play too.
Yeah.
Or be laying, like watching, TV and playing a game at the same time, which I love.
Yeah, no, I do a lot of my gaming mobilely now because I have a 45-minute commute when I go downtown for stuff. So, like, playing on a tablet is much more tangible to me than playing it at home, especially because my job is playing video games.
Right.
Like, if I'm at home playing a game, like, I'm usually playing it for work, honestly. Not always. I mean, I do get to play for pleasure here and there, but, like, games on the road are really where I'm just doing whatever the hell I want. So that's like definitely good for people like me personally.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have any more questions from the audience? We may have actually. Did we? Oh, here we go. Zenevere wants to know: are there planned multiplayer formats and modes so I can jump in and play crazy multiplayer with guildies and stuff like that, and any kind of multiplayer death matches with 4+ players?
So kind of back to the same question. Currently, the raids are the sort of the multiplayer component in the game. I think in the future there will be more multiplayer modes. What people don't realize is that for a digital TCG, especially, all of the unspoken body language that occurs in a multiplayer physical game, where people can kind of make the movement very fast, kind of breaks down a bit in the PC setting, and so you have to make sure that whatever your experience is, that is moving very briskly, or else people get bored waiting for their turn. So any kind of multiplayer component we create, we have to make sure that meets that requirement. So it's stuff we want to do in the future, but it's going to take a little work. The good thing about the raid is that you're always involved because you get to modify. You can cast things onto their cards. You need to see what they're doing. You're playing against one AI opponent that's making decisions very quickly and turning it back over to you. And so you're always sort of involved. So that's definitely something we'd like, but it's also something that takes more work.
Let's see. Shaggy TV keeps asking, what is the size of the sideboard rather?
15.
15. There you go. All right.
Havoc wants to know about Red Dwarf. Wants to know if you've seen Red Dwarf before.
No.
The TV show?
Did I steal something in it? Did I steal something inadvertently?
I don't know. I don't know if you stole anything from it. I mean, it's an older.
I don't think so at all. I just think they're just suggesting you watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did, definitely. I mean, I love, as much as I can't watch TV now, I am still addicted to certain shows. Like Game of Thrones, I couldn't be more in love with.
Oh, my God. Let's not talk about Game of Thrones right now. It's been a rough week.
For me, the two things that I watch religiously at this point are Game of Thrones and Adventure Time. I'm a massive Adventure Time fan. I love Pendleton Ward to death.
Pendleton was awesome.
So those are my two biggest things. I mean, I love a lot of other stuff too, like Walking Dead. Clearly, we have that license, and we actually picked that up before the show came out. So I Frank Derbont, and I love Walking Dead, and so all the things that everyone expects, or all the things that, like True Blood, all the stuff that everyone actually loves. I do too.
Nice.
I'm a big fan of HBO.
Let's see. Are you guys gonna do like an Adventure Time like physical card game or anything like that? Have you guys?
We haven't announced anything like that.
Okay. I like that answer. I can read the subtle facial
Nope.
expressions. No. All right. Dude, Pendleton. Yeah, I love Adventure Time myself.
Right? It's
That
the
would
most
make a great card game.
the level of depth in the storytelling, like there's a meta storytelling occurring. This is the magic of Adventure Time. This idea that each of these episodes is actually telling bits and pieces of a larger meta narrative, and it's so deep and dark and weird and twisted. Like my favorite character, after Jake is Ice King. He's this amazing, like deeply nuanced anti-hero. Like it's just crazy the depth to the storytelling in this little 11-minute kids cartoon show. And the people that are, addicted to it are usually sort of attracted to it for the same reason, which is that incredible world-building depth that is occurring in that program. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Peppermint Butler myself.
Right. What was with that episode with him hanging a cinnamon bun upside down and putting a demon into him?
Yeah, he's summoning his Dark Lord.
Pentagram and a